What is tuple? Tuple is similar to that of a list. The only thing with the tuple is that it has these parentheses instead of square braces. Same thing, Dhoni and Kohli. First, as always, type check it. When I run this code, it says tuple. That is very evident. But the very important point in tuple to be noted is that in a list, even if you keep one data, that is going to get categorized as a list. But in a tuple, when you keep only one data, the syntax look like a string. Let me run and show you. Look at this. So if at all there was a scenario where you may have to have only one data in a tuple, at least make a comma just to categorize this as a form of tuple. If you don't put the comma, your Python will understand that as a string only. So this is very, very important point. Okay. Then what is the other important aspect of tuple? Immutability. Correct. It is opposite of list. So my list of 0 is equal to Kohli. What I'm trying to do in the place of Dhoni, I'm trying to keep it as Kohli. When I run this code, type error. Tuple object does not support item assignment. Whenever you see this kind of error, right, you can come into the conclusion. So always, guys, so the human psychology is that when they get this kind of error, they'll just close the code and they will straight away start seeing what was the issue with the code. First of all, make sure that you read the error. So what is this? This is error type. Whatever that comes before this colon is what error type, and this is what error meaning. So what it says, object does not support item asset. So whenever you get this kind of a statement, obviously that is belongs to immutable category. That is what I want you people to understand. Okay. That's what with the tuple, guys. Okay, there was nothing much. Even if you see the functions tuple support, right, it's very minimal. Except these double underscores. If you see the other function, count and index. We already see count and index, right? What is count? It will count how many data are occurring. For example, I have this. So what I can do? Print my list dot count. What I'm gonna count? Dhoni. So what it will basically tell me? It is going to tell me how many occurrences of Dhoni available in my tuple. So when I run this code, it just gives 2. What does it mean? There are 2 number of Dhoni exist. Similar to that, there is another function called index. What index is going to tell me? It means output is 0. What does it mean? It is telling me the first occurrence. If I keep Dhoni, it will tell me where the Dhoni occurred for the very first time. There are multiple Dhoni in my tuple, but this index is going to give me where this Dhoni occurred for the very first time. So that's what count and indexes. Except this function, you cannot use tuple for any other functionality. If somebody asks you the reason why, tell them tuple belongs to immutable category. So now bigger question, where I should use tuple and where I should use list. So whenever there are cases of a data where you're not going to change during the course of the time, then you can keep that as in the form of tuple. Passwords, Gmail IDs, mail IDs to be precise, IP address, URL, FQDNs. So these kind of a data which will not get changed or which shouldn't get changed, you just keep it in tuple. If at all there are a few things which may change, you can keep that in the form of list. And interview, if they ask you which one among these two is very faster, tell them tuple is very faster than that of list. So these two are the broader and major difference between the tuple and list, guys. Okay, there are a lot of logic involved, but make sure that you learn this concept on a good level. Once you're done with this, right, we can start working on the other aspect. Okay, so the next topic that we're going to discuss is most probably the dictionary, that we're going to see it in different video altogether. Till now, take care. Bye bye.